All right, so let's talk about the most touristy place we went to in the whole place. And you alluded to it earlier, Bran Castle. All right.
Yes.
So a lot of people might know the castle, Bran Castle, as supposedly being the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Count Dracula. I think it's very loose. Maybe the real Dracula, and there really was one here we talked about where he grew up a minute ago in Sigashora. Anyway, they make a big deal out of it. It is a beautiful place, but let's talk about Bran Castle.
Bran Castle. So we actually ended up going twice. The first day,
kind of.
Well, the first day, we made it there. We made it, not inside the castle, but we made it to the town where the castle is located. We actually parked and then decided, okay, let's take a look around, and we left. And the reason why we did that is it was Halloween, and again, we're huge on Halloween, so we're all dressed up, and of course, our theme this year was Dracula, vampires. So we're all dressed in our vampire outfit,
with blood on our
makeup,
lips.
the fake fangs, everything, right? And we get to the town and nobody's dressed. And this is Halloween. This is October 31st and nobody else is dressed. So we're feeling a little overdressed. We get too shy and we leave.
And they have a huge party on Halloween night. It's a costume party, but apparently during the day, nobody does that.
Yeah. So
and it was packed full of people too.
It was. There was a lot of people too. And that kind of made us nervous, you know, because I was a little underdressed.
So you'll see our pictures from it. We did do a photo shoot of it in the middle of a forest on the way home.
Yeah.
And people saw us there and they thought we were a little strange. But anyway, so let's talk about the second time we went. You and I, we went by ourselves the second time.
And we actually went inside the castle. We ended up going on a week that was a big national holiday, and was a little bit busy at the beginning just to get in the castle. But once we got in, you know, people started spreading around. It was okay.
Now, let me just give you a little history of Bran Castle just briefly. So, a big reason why Romania was divided, I say that loosely, but it's because of the mountains. And it was very difficult to get through the mountains. And so it kind of separated the people. But they had these natural passes. This was one of them where the town of Bran is located and the castle's there. And that's where people would bring their goods through. They were taxed for it. It was also a place where they, would try to defend their area and things like that. A brief history real quickly of this castle. It was rebuilt and built, and eventually it fell into disrepair, I believe, at some point, and then it was given to the royal family, Queen Marie, if I remember correctly. Again, this is just from my memory, but it was taken from them during the communist rule. But then, after the communists went away, it was actually restored to the Queen's family, and they still own it today, but they, of course, now they do tours and things like that. So that's a brief history of it. And of course, they say it looks like the one in Bram Stoker's book, but that's, again, very loosely associated.
So we did the tour. It was great. I really enjoyed it. We didn't do an actual guided tour. We just kind of went on our own and took our time looking around. To me, it was beautiful. It was very original. They had different rooms set up in the original way that they would have had it, decorated with the furniture, with the armor. They even had a crown. They had it was
definitely a smaller castle that we've been to. And it's more like a family castle.
It's
like a huge castle you see like we saw in England or Scotland or somewhere. But it was good about it is you could actually get a feel for it.
It was very original.
Oh, and the courtyards were amazing.
Yeah, the courtyard was beautiful. And then to me, what I loved the most about it was the architecture of the castle because it looks like out of a fairy tale.
That's true.
And then the other thing I was very surprised and impressed by was their torture tour. Which
paid a little bit more for it.
To do, the torture room. And that was, I don't know, I don't even know what to think about that because I'm glad that we didn't live in those times. I mean, some of those tortures were aggressive and gruesome and
creative.
Oh my God.
It was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want to be accused of anything wrongdoing or not being religious enough or being a witch or any of the other things.
Oh my gosh.
They were incredibly brutal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I'm glad we did go.
Oh, definitely. Definitely go. Just don't bring the kids in there.
No.
Okay. But adults,
and then we did pay for something else as well called the Time Tunnel.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So they actually won an award because this is one of the most interactive elevators.
Yeah.
What?
I wouldn't do that again. I probably wouldn't pay for this part of it.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to see what you say about it because the elevator slowly goes down, maybe 1 floor, 2 floor. I don't know how far.
I don't know how far it goes. I don't think it goes that far.
Not very long. The interactive part I liked a lot. The elevator ride down, then they have some, what do they call it? You could see pictures of things on the way down.
Yeah, so you can see like there's images that it looks like you're going down a glass elevator and you can see out into the stone wall, and there's actually video playing as you're going down with basically different things like
it was scary
going down
music.
the levels, and there's something different in each level, and as you get lower, you go through a lot of different things. But it was very quick, and I don't know, I was expecting more, right?
I was too, and and as far as interactive, the only thing I saw interactive, what I remember, is doing the selfie. They had a picture
we did
you could take
selfie.
and then of course you end up in the souvenir shop.
Yes, but you don't have to do the tunnel or the whole entry. You can actually skip that area.
Yes.
You don't want to do the whole castle tour. When you walk in, you go to the right, and there's a little walkway, and you go into like the garden area, and there's actually a great view for pictures of the castle with the mountain, underneath it, and then
but
the
I
castle.
think you actually have to pay to get in there too. Remember, we went through a line before that, so you still have to pay.
I mean, true. You do still have to pay to go inside. That's your ticket to go inside the grounds. But if you want to take beautiful pictures and skip the elevator part of it, just go to the gardens and you can actually see great views of the castle from there.
Absolutely. I'll say there was a lot of people there. I felt like I was kind of shuffling through. Now, she was really good at being patient and waiting, because it seemed like there were clumps of people, and then they would go away, and then you could have great places to take pictures and things like that.
If you're patient, people keep going, and then you're left alone, which is the best way to take pictures and videos. And for me, I don't mind waiting, so I was patient enough and waited around. But yeah, I mean, the tour itself, it was beautiful. I thought it was very authentic.
Thanks for listening to the Family Abroadcast, pursuing a life of slow travel and adventure, or more stories, less stuff.